I will try to prove who is legit and who is not, but you should never trust anybody when it comes to Twitter wagers. Welcome JKTV to the first episode of Twitter Wagers. As said in the intro, you should not trust anybody on Twitter when it comes to wagers. Even though they might pay up in my episodes of Twitter Wagers, they might not pay up when it comes up against you. So be cautious when it comes to that. And those who doesn't pay up at all, you should definitely not go up against them. So for the first episode of Twitter Wagers, we will go up against these three gentlemen, and if they're called gentlemen in the end of this episode, we'll soon find out. But from the left we have Beast One Sniper, then in the middle we have the FIFA Beast, and on the right we have Drew Harmon. And all their Twitter will be linked in the description down below for you to give the one who pays up some love, hopefully, and the ones who doesn't pay up a lot of fucking hate, which feel free to do that. Also keep in mind that these games are played a couple of weeks back because I haven't had the energy or the time to edit this video before. And also against Beast and Drew it was only 10k wager, so it's not a huge deal. And against the FIFA Beast it was only 20k. So should we go into the games now? Should we begin with the bad one or the good one? You'll soon find out. So, as you can see, we have started with Drew Harmon, and let's find out if he's a good wagerman or a bad wagerman. As we all know, Twitter account is very easy to change, but a gamertag is a little bit harder, so Drew's gamertag is Icon Tackers. And let's have a look at Drew's team. He doesn't have the most usual BPL squad, but still a pretty good one. Shaky Net, who we all know is fucking overpowered. Then at right back, Zabaleta, Sacco, Agar, Fabio. At CM we have Sissoko. Right mid, Valencia. Left mid, Schulin. Then we have Carsola and Kagawa. And then Remy. But let's see how it goes in the game. It took it all the way to the 16th, 17th minute to happen something in the game, and here's Ibarbo with his black head. Say no to racism. He heads it in to make it 1-0 in the 17th minute, but heading is on the both ways, so he will get us back. Fabio with a great ball to Schule, and he will run down the wing with that pace, and then he will cross it in, and there's some bad defending from my defenders, and Remy can get his head in on it in the 45th minute. And as you can see in the stats, we are leading the shots pretty well, but he is having the possession as he played pretty possession based football. But we will get into the second period, and he will get a clumsy tackle in, and Soto will go down in the penalty area, and of course Mario Balotelli will go up, and will he score? Yes, he does. In the 48th minute we will take a 2-1 lead, and if it wasn't enough we will we will make an over the top, and a delicate chip from Draxler to make it 3-1 in the 16th minute. And as if the onslaught wasn't enough, we will extend the lead with a Cuadrado over the top to Ibarbo, and a nice on the ground finish from Ibarbo to make it 4-1, and then we will continue. As if it wasn't enough, scoring on each way you possibly can, we score off a header, and yeah, the onslaught wasn't done really yet. We will over the top it to Ibarbo. His goal will be running like a fool in the penalty area, and Ibarbo will ship in. So the game ended 6-1, and in the final score we were pretty dominant, as you can see on the stats. But let's see, is Drew a legit wager on Twitter? So I put up a random bronze player 10,250 because I thought before that the trader first didn't give tax, so he could send me an offer on 10k, but later he quitted the party and did not pay up. So that's very, very fun to see that he was so, and I mean, it's just 10k, it's not like it's a fortune that you're going to pay up, but Drew wasn't willing to pay. So Drew, we will give him a dislike. I would highly regard you to not wager this guy because he seemed very unlegit, and as proven by this, he was. So let's move on to the next opponent. So the second opponent of the first episode of Twitter Wagers is Beast One Sniper, and let's find out if he's a good wagerman or a bad wagerman. It's not hard to find Beast One Sniper on Xbox Live because he has the same gamer tag as his Twitter handle. And let's have a look at Beast One Sniper's wager squad, and he's a full Mexican 3-4-3 squad, which is not very usual to see in a wager match, but Inform Ochoa, standing out players Guadrado, Dos Santos, both Dos Santos brothers, and then Hernandez and Vela is the standout players of the Mexican squad. But let's get in and see how this goes. So the game against Beast didn't take as long as against Drew to start up the scoring. Balotelli goes through, he will shoot and Ochoa will save it, but Ramirez will have a scrappy rebound to make it 1-0 in the 5th minute. And you probably would guess it were more goals, but no, the first half was just 1 goal, and to be honest, I dominated the game. And in the second half, Kaka passed to El Shaarawy, and we will cross it to Balotelli. And maybe some will complain that I cross a lot. It's a part of my game style, and for the second of all, it's a wager. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. And then Mariano will go through at the right wing, and we cross it in. But he will create. But I say but very often. I say but Kaka. But again. With a very nice finish, and it's worth a replay every time of the week. Very nice finish, and then if you're gonna take this as a goal, you gotta do it nicely, and a very nice looking chip. And in the 90th minute we make it 4-0, and that's the end result. And as you can see, we totally dominated. Unfortunately, he wasn't really up on part, and yet again I put it up bronze player for 10k, and you probably think this time around, oh, he's had a bad team, he's not a wager team, he won't pay up. But he sent me a trade offer, and as I said in previous, I thought that tax and shit was not a part of the trade, so I took this trade, and yeah, I got a bit more less cash, but he paid up, and I mean, great on you, Beast. Maybe you can hear claps, hopefully. So Beast 1 sniper, and you can see the handle under there. Of course, he paid up, really nice, and I would like to play him again if he would like to play me. So let's move on to the last opponent. And as our final wager of the first episode of Twitter Wagers, I will go up against the FIFA Beast. And just in a warning, this will be complicated, so just listen carefully. So this mysterious the FIFA Beast, and as his gamertag shows, FIFA X BeastX, which allegedly of today has 159 followers and has some favorites and retweets that says that he has paid up and got me to log in my cash. Seem that he's maybe not that legit after all. But first, let's take a look at his team before we go into how all this is very complicated. He has a decent looking Serie A squad with Marchetti, Ogbonar, Caceres, Cellini, Vidal, Pogba, Cuadrado, Ibarbo, Honda, Balotelli, and El Shaarawy. And let's go in and see how this game goes. And as the previous wager started off, it started off with an early goal, and yet again another cross over to Ibarbo, which heads it into the back of the net to make it 1-0 in the 3rd minute. And that was pretty much the first half, as the stats shows. I was dominating yet again, and in the second half it didn't happen anything. So that's 10 times stats, and yet again I thought that I had the most opportunities and were deserved of the victory. So I put it up Lebedi here for 20k. Hopefully he was sold, and as you can see here, I locked in his shirt. But after that, boom, GG, I wrote to him, and he said time wasting twat. And then the complication just started. And as your general reaction when you see that time wasting twat, you ask him, you serious, man? Because I didn't time waste, in my opinion. So, and yeah, he answered, yeah, every time you got the ball, you kicked it along, and then you chucked it in the corner. I don't know why he sounded like an Indian, but anyway. And then I have some kind of explanation, hoping that it would pay up. But let's take a look at the last 10 minutes, because he dared me to show the last 10 minutes, and let's take a look at the situation he meant by this comment. So as you can see, we are in the 80th minute right here and right now, and also keep in mind this is a wager match and you should not play to let the other dude win. So let's take a look at the last 10 minutes. But of course speed it up to when we get to the point what he was meaning. So we'll take the tackle here. I cleared it up. Where should I pass it? Should I pass it back to my defender so he can take the ball and retrieve possession of the ball again? Or should I do like that? Clear it. He means that it's time wasting. Let's see more. We fast forward yet again, trying to create some offense, and then he takes the ball, and then we get the ball in the corner. Should I pass it to that guy right there and the arrow? I don't really think so, because I don't want to lose the ball. It's still a wager. It's still nothing you would like to pass the ball to opponent. It's kind of a if you want the tips, you should not pass the ball to the opponent in any game, but most of all not in a wager, of course. So as we fast forward yet again, we will take a look at the last segment of this, and it is a perfect situation of what he told me about shucking the ball down to the corner. So his pass, which is absolutely horrible. Let's look at this situation. Should I pass it to the guy he's actually marking, or should I pass it to the guy who is not marked? And this is an over-the-top ball, which goes perfectly fine to Ibarbo, which is not time wasting. It was a good pass. And then let's roll the clip, or keep it rolling. I tackle it out. El Shaarawy picks the ball up, and in this case, you might think he's time wasting his own time, because he's wasting time when he stands there by the throwing. Then Balotelli with a awful pass yet again. I picked it up with my El Shaarawy in this case, and since I don't want it to be in my corner, I threw it up long, trying to get it to Ibarbo, and it's obviously didn't go as planned, but that's his side of time wasting. So according to the FIFA Beast's bio, if you time waste, it's an auto loss, and as you can very clearly see, it is not, in my opinion, a time waste. But luckily for his own sake, at least he didn't accept offer, so I got my money back, but at the same time, he should have been paying up. So after a lot of arguments, he asked me for an offer. You want a rematch? If you win you get 20, and if he won he gets 0, and I said 30, and he didn't accept it, and then I said I won't get any money anyway, so you just play for 20k, and I did it. So it will be a rematch right now, and in the rematch he probably comes up against me with the sweatiest squad he probably could have built, and he won fair and square with 2-1. But I still felt like I'd got cheated somehow. I mean, I should have gotten my cash. If you agree, let me know in the comment section down below. And as you probably can understand, I wouldn't recommend you going up and wagering against this unreliable paying up dude, because he seems to pay up against some dudes, so maybe he's just a run shot on the Twitter account and saying he was that good on wagering. But I mean, I can understand that you should not time waste in a wager, but this was not time wasting. It's time wasting if you're passing around the back, or if you stay in the corner of the field and just defending the ball and letting that type of time wasting. But this was not time wasting, so I guess you shouldn't really wager against the FIFA Beast. But this was the first episode of the Twitter wagers, and I will end this video off now. Thanks for watching the first episode of Twitter wagers. If you want to follow me on Twitter and maybe wager me in the future, just follow me there and contact me when I maybe send out a tweet that I'm going to wager. And also, if you do that, you can prove that you're actually legit, which everyone wants to see. And also, subscribe if you like this content on my channel. And also, why not hit the like button if you want this series to continue, and maybe leave a comment telling me that you want that. And also leave a comment on if you know people are not legit. Leave that in the comment section down below, telling the people that are viewing that they should not be wagering them on Twitter. And also, if you want a free, not a free, but if you want shout-out, shout-outs rather, click the top left corner, because there's a video there which helps you out how you will sponsor, and it's also in the description down below. And also don't forget to watch my latest video, which was the cheapest possible Barcelona squad. And other than that, I will have to say bye.